I uh I don't know what to say. Uh this is this is usually I don't make these kinds of videos, right? Because of what's happening now, but I can't really say or hide anything because it's already been past at least close to 24 hours now. For those who are just waking up from a coma, this ain't no dream. You and I wish you didn't wake up at this time. But it's pretty unfortunate to hear that one of, if not the greatest manga creators, Akira Toriyama, passed away at age 68. And no, it's really hard actually because the man created Dragon Ball, and y'all know how much I love Dragon Ball, especially with this channel actually because as you've seen, it's not really much of a big surprise. I ain't hiding anything. This channel is mostly related to Dragon Ball, like no doubt Dokkan specifically, but like you guys get the point. I can't believe it's finally I would never have thought this would have happened, but it actually happened. March 1st. Well, it's been exactly 1 week since he passed, but like, damn. Okay. Personally, for those that don't know, I actually have watched Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball wasn't the very first anime I've watched. I watched Pokemon when I was a kid, and it kept me at least going for a while. I enjoyed it as a kid, but the time I started watching Dragon Ball wasn't on TV. When I was a kid, I never had cable TV, so I wasn't able to watch Toonami, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and that was like I believe for the first at least 8 to 9 years of my life. I never really had the chance to watch Dragon Ball as is until I started watching it on YouTube. One of the first things I did see when I was a kid, when I watched Dragon Ball for the first time, it was, if I remember, it's so long ago actually. I watched it when I was like 7, so like 16 years ago to be exact. Damn, if I remember correctly, I remember watching the Cell games actually when I was a kid. And yes, I know I went out of order like way back in the day, but like this is my first time discovering Dragon Ball. And one of the scenes that I watched was Gohan transforming into Super Saiyan 2. That that shit hit harder than literally that shit was amazing actually. And it's an amazing scene as well. I didn't watch it subbed, I did watch it dubbed. So keep in mind I was so used to dubbed more than subbed, but I love both sides anyways. The amount of animations that went into that was really good back in the day, and it still is actually. It's really nostalgic in my opinion. But this really this really hits different. It really does. And I enjoyed not just the anime, right? I've also read the manga. Not all of it, because I watched the anime and I did watch the fillers, so that that puts me into perspective where I have watched at least both medias. I watched Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai. Yes, I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. And of course, I caught up with the manga as well. Of course, I think we're at the point now where Beast Gohan is going up against UI Goku. I think that's where we're at right now. But like, damn, like the past 16, 17 hours have been, or almost even 24 hours at this point, has been a major shift in many people actually. Because one of the greatest things that I've seen so far, right, in terms of Dragon Ball, was definitely the animations. And people don't like the storyline, I'll be honest with you, but like, I enjoyed it. I didn't really care about the storyline way back in the day, right? I was just enjoying myself saying, "Oh my god, Goku beats everyone! Yeah, Goku #1, let's go!" And all that, right? I was a big fan of it. And to top it all off, right? I watched Dragon Ball on Nickelodeon Toonzai, or CW4Kids, for those that don't remember, right? All the censorship and everything. I was exposed to that. I was exposed to that as a kid. So I knew what I was expecting. With 4Kids versus Nicktoons, dude, I was hooked onto Dragon Ball. I was hooked. And I kept watching it every single day. I didn't care if it was like uncensored or not. I was a big fan of it. However, there's one catch. I didn't play any video games. Well, the first Dragon Ball game I played, if I remember correctly, it was Dragon Ball Z Super Sonic Warriors 2. If I pull that up right now, actually. Oh, there it is, yeah. Super Sonic Warriors 2. This was actually one of the very first games that I played as a kid. It was fun. I loved it. I loved playing this game specifically with my cousin. He and I enjoyed it. We loved it. And it was pretty much our main game for like, we played, I think, for like 2, 3, 4 hours maybe 5 if we stayed a lot longer. Like, it was a really fun game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the very first Dragon Ball games I played. I had no other Dragon Ball games. I didn't have a PS2, PS3. I had the Wii, but I didn't have the money to buy a Dragon Ball game at all. And then when I got the Xbox, that's when I started getting like, okay, maybe I can get Ultimate Tenkaichi, which, yeah, I did pick it up, unfortunately, and people didn't like it, but I liked it. It was a really good game just because it's a Dragon Ball game. I liked it. I think it's just the experience that comes along with it. And yeah, I do have the letter pulled up. But just quickly note, yes, he passed away at age of 68. And he passed due to, what's it gonna call it? Subdural hematoma. It's a brain, I think it's like a severe brain condition, if I remember correctly. I didn't go too much in depth into it, but that's just basically how I looked at it. Like, this man touched the hearts of millions, if not at least those who have watched Dragon Ball as a kid. It's kind of sad to believe that he's actually gone. Like, but at the same time, I'm smiling from grin to grin at the fact that all the shit that he's done has impacted the majority of my life, really. I don't usually talk about Dragon Ball in front of my own friends, and if you know me in real life, you know I would love to talk about Dragon Ball, and I know I would love to talk about basically everything about it, especially with like new products, maybe new anime, or anything Dragon Ball related. Would love to talk about it, of course. I couldn't say no to that. But there's sometimes, like I can't really talk about it because one, no, I didn't have many friends back in the day before right now that watched Dragon Ball with me. It's because I didn't know they grew up with it, or just they didn't think it was cool. So I was like, well, I can't really talk about it, and it would suck if they didn't know if I only talked about Dragon Ball with them. But the fact that I could talk about here is just, you know, it's in awe of me actually talking about it, and I'm still kind of sad that he's gone, even up till now. Like, it still hits me, and it's probably gonna hit me every day. But the biggest takeaway from this is that I appreciate and value the fact that this man has done so much for a lot of us, a lot of people that enjoyed not only Dragon Ball, actually. Doctor Slump, I have watched Doctor Slump, a few episodes of it actually. It's a really good mini series. Highly recommend watching it, especially with the crossover between Goku and Orale. Spoiler alert, unfortunately, but it's a really good mini series. I really recommend it, especially with, I believe there's a Dragon Ball movie. There's a Dragon Ball movie with Orale in there. You guys will like it, trust me. And they did a crossover in Dragon Ball Super. Trust me, you've seen that before too. And the manga's pretty good too. I like it. They have broken some fourth walls too. To top it all off, a lot of people have already done a lot of tributes already, of course, including myself. I've been planning on doing this tribute sometime later, today. Just doing maybe a showcase on Dokkan. Uh, it's insane, man. I don't have any like Dragon Ball DVDs or VHS. By the way, I did say that I didn't have access to cable TV. It's because I was mostly, what do we call it? I was exposed to having VHS as a kid or DVDs. I didn't have the luxury of watching cable TV until like 2009. So we're talking like years later. I'm here. I'm like, wow, it's a lot has changed. There's a lot of other creators as well who have also honored the man as a legend, as a teacher. And I still see that today because there's a lot of people that really love the style of artwork and the amount of things that they've done to impact other game companies, and those who really loved the work that's been put into each and everything Dragon Ball or anything, or actually Dragon Quest as well. When I think about it, I have played Dragon Quest. It's actually pretty. What was the last Dragon Quest game? I think it was a DS game. Let's take a look. It's been a while actually. The last time I played Dragon Quest was like 10 years ago. I remember. I think it was Dragon Quest 5 or Dragon Quest 9. It's one of those two. Like any Dragon Quest game that I played, it's just insane to see that Toriyama has made a huge impact. I can't really say no, but at the same time, I could say, like, not too much on, not to everyone else, but it's made a huge impact on my childhood. I've been watching Dragon Ball for years, watching it from YouTube to watching it on TV to then going back and forth, watching literally clips of Dragon Ball scenes. Some of my favorite scenes in the world: Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku transformations, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, UI Goku transformation, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Actually, people love Vegeta. I cannot fathom enough, just because Vegeta has really cool scenes. You have to watch it. It's actually there's some really good fire in there. Piccolo got some pretty good hype, and some others as well. Master Roshi did have some really good fight scenes, and even in the original Dragon Ball, I highly recommend checking out those as well. It's insane, and also the fact that if I pull this up right now, yeah, I've played Dokkan too. Yes, I played this game for almost not well, we're close to 10 years actually. Well, not really, but like we just passed the 9th year anniversary. And the fact that this game has been running for 9 years has kept me in the loop of wanting to continue to watch Dragon Ball so much. I normally don't talk about this Dragon Ball so much, but like, damn. If I can continue to talk about Dragon Ball, can literally continue to talk about like literally anything within there. The games, the memories that I made with my friends, my cousin. It's just so much. Of course, there were times where I was a little down in my life where I was a little sad, really, during those times. I was like a little depressed when I was a kid. But then when I started watching Dragon Ball clips, I was like, I'm back to my happy, at least happy mood. Because Dragon Ball made me feel happy. And most of the time, if I feel sad, right, I can feel like the message that comes out of Dragon Ball. One of the most important lessons I've learned, or two of them actually, is one was family. Goku has a heart for family, and I really respect the fact that even though, people judge him and say he didn't raise his son, he didn't train with his son, he didn't raise his son the way that Piccolo did, and like, well, at least he trained with his son, and at least he cares about all of his friends and family. That's probably the most important thing. But another thing is that, what's the word? Practice, training. I think ever since I was like in ninth grade, right? I was overweight. I was like almost 190 pounds back, or maybe almost 200 pounds back in the day, right? And ever since then, I was a little depressed or a little disappointed in myself because I was very large and fat. So I was like, I'm just gonna run on a treadmill for an hour while watching Dragon Ball clips. And guess what happened? I lost a lot of weight back in the day. And I'm still trying to maintain that weight, obviously. But I enjoy watching Dragon Ball while I'm working out. Because I like it. I like listening to the sounds of the Dragon Ball character voices. But I also enjoy like the different fan animations that people have made for the Dragon Ball franchise in general. Like there's so many things I could talk about. Even the figures. I've seen it at Comic Con really recently. Recently at 2023 Comic Con, I've seen a lot of good figures over there. There's a Super Gogeta one. I wish I really got that one, but it was like, no, I want to save up my money for other things. So I didn't buy any figures, but they all look really good. I swear. Like this is so much, man. That's how much this dude has impacted my damn life. Like I could talk about Dragon Ball for hours, maybe hours if I tried. But it's just insane that he's not here anymore. But the most important thing I do want to say is thank you. I want to thank Akira Toriyama, not just impacting my life, right? For impacting so many others that enjoyed the different things that he created. Dr. Slump, Dragon Quest, Dragon Ball. I couldn't say anything else but thank you in the utmost respect, right? And of course I'll give my condolences to his family as well. But it's just so much, it's like so much has happened in such little time. It's insane really, but it just feels different. I don't know what to say. You know, as long as we feel appreciated as long as we appreciate the fact that he's done so much, we could do the same for him. And hopefully that continues to grow as we go along throughout 2024 and beyond. Because I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball is going to be in safe hands with the rest of the team, with the rest of Toriyama's team. Because I know we're probably gonna do a lot better than we already are right now. They're gonna be guided pretty well. Damn, it's insane. No, I should have worn a Dragon Ball shirt today actually. So it's just damn. I don't know, man. Like this is. I usually don't talk about these, but like this, it's insane that how much has changed. But yeah, I have to go right now. But there's one question I do want to ask you guys: is what do you guys want to see? Who's your guys' favorite character? It's just so much. You know, I just want to leave it off and say thank you, Akira Toriyama, for all that you do. You are the legend, the goats, and you will be missed. And I'll see you guys in the next one.